And you think gas prices... All right, I'm back live again. Let me see if I can get this thing so it's not, my whole face is not blocked out. I just saw a video on TYT. Anna was talking about the visit of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and that little bastard had the audacity. Hold on. First, before I even get to that, I like Brian Tyler Cohen, but sometimes it's a stretch.
I feel like I need your response to this.
And you think gas prices are high now? Just wait until you're forced to drive an electric vehicle.
It's also probably worth noting from Marjorie Taylor Greene that you probably aren't too concerned about the cost of gas if you're driving an EV. So I don't know what that fear-mongering was supposed to accomplish for her.
If you really wanted to think it through, I suppose if everybody's driving an EV, then global petroleum markets would probably show a drop in demand, which would mean oil would actually be cheaper. But I doubt she thought through all of this.
Yeah. I feel like I need...
Okay, so I doubt, Buttigieg, that you thought through the fact that when the battery of the EV explodes, as they are wont to do 90% of the time, as the tires of the EV come off, as they are wont to do 50% of the time. See, people don't tell you. You're like, oh, I'm going to save so much money on gas, but you're going to pay out of your ass for maintenance, for when the computer shuts down for no reason, and you take it back to the shop and you think, okay, I paid for this extra protection plan, but that's not in the protection plan. That's what Margaret Taylor Greene is talking about. And I by no means am a defender of Margaret Taylor Greene's. By no means am I a defender of hers, because she is hideous and she does horrible things. She's an instigator. But when she's right, she's right. And so, because she has not perfected how to speak in public, and maybe she didn't go to one of those elite schools, that does not mean that she's not right about what she's saying. And so, you and Buttigieg are wrong. But this video is about Benjamin Netanyahu coming to our country. Where is it? They're also clamoring about how the man wasn't shot. Going on about how he wasn't shot. Boy, I didn't even name that. How was that on the... Look at that. I just made this video. I ain't even name it yet. All right. Come on, TYT, where you at? Damn. I'm going to have to cut this. Okay, let me hold on. Let me save this. Save to watch later. All right. I'm going to have to go back because TYT, Anna Kasparian's Netanyahu visit.
TYT, Anna Kasparian Netanyahu visit.
Okay, so here it is.
Anti-war activists protesting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech before a joint session of Congress today. Now, there were members of Congress who also protested Bibi's visit, but before we get to them, I do think it's important to show you some of the highlights or lowlights, depending on what your perspective is, of Netanyahu's speech. There were elements of it that were infuriating because at the end of the day, whether or not you agree with the point that Americans are protesting, at the end of the day, they're Americans and they should be protected, especially from foreign leaders visiting this country and sparing them. But they weren't. Members of Congress cheered him on as he said this.
Clarity begins by knowing the difference between good and evil. Yet incredibly, many anti-Israel protesters, many choose to stand with evil. They stand with Hamas. They stand with rapists and murderers. They stand with people who came into the kibbutzim, into a home. The parents hid the children, the two babies, in the attic, in a secret attic. They murdered the families, the parents. They find the secret latch to the hidden attic, and then they murder the babies. These protesters stand with them. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Do you hear this? That's our Congress clapping their hands at this murderous bastard. The Americans are protesting what's happening to all of the people, Benjamin Netanyahu, including the ones that you're murdering, including the babies that you're murdering. And our Congress clapped. I honestly don't know what's the matter with Americans that they would stand for this. We are so divided in everything that we don't even stand together when it matters. So what if that group was not a group of Palestinian Americans? What if it were Indian Americans or Asian Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, Hispanic Americans? Then what? We can't voice what we find horrific on both sides. Our Congress is clapping for Benjamin Netanyahu. That is the point of this video. Our Congress clapped. Not the Republicans, not the Democrats, all of the Congress, the whole chamber lit up. We're not going to make it in America. America's going to survive because it always does. But we are so divided by what other people, the people that are running this country, and the people that they are, the capitalists that they own, are the people that we put in Congress. We are just not going to make it. As it is, Congress only represents the upper 1% and 2%. And if they need something when it's time to vote, then they come back. Then they come back and they say, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to give you something very basic. Something very, very basic. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican. Do you know the majority of us are so dissatisfied with Congress that sorry about that. The majority of us are so dissatisfied with Congress that we're either not voting, or we can't agree to get together. And so because people realize, just like I realize, we're not going to stick together. That's why they're murdering them. They're going to murder every last one of them. I told y'all somebody was going to shoot Trump and kill him. The guy shot at him. It grazed, put a little pierce in his ear. We watched it on live TV. And they think that person used real bullet. The person could have just used the type of bullets that didn't kill anybody. You think the 20-year-old shot and killed the people in back of Trump and intentionally missed his head? He moved his head. But they are going to kill Trump. They are going to kill Kamala. Why? Because they've been giving everybody guns. They've been making promises to everybody. The elite, Democrats and Republicans, that's who they are. Congress, our judges are corrupt. And the people of America have had it. I get a chance to turn my thing on. As a matter of fact, let me record this. The people in America have had it. We don't believe any of you anymore. So they tried to kill Donald. They didn't get him. They're going to do it again until they succeed. They were going to kill Joe Biden. He gave up the presidency, and now it's Kamala. And they're going to kill Kamala, too. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Because this is what we are left with.
This is inside the.
This is what we are left with now. We are right back to this. We rejected this woman when we chose Biden. Now he's back and she's back. This is an entire United States of America, and there's nobody else other than these two jackals. Nobody else. All right. I'm predicting they're both going to be shot at and killed, just like I predicted they were going to do it to Trump. And I'm telling you, all right, never mind. But my point was Benjamin Netanyahu has got a lot of damn nerves to come to this country and stand in our Congress and tell people that are Americans we can't protest because they have people that they love in another country, because people in his country were hurt. People in your country were hurt because of you. And your ass needs to be in prison. And if I'm president, him and Putin are going to prison. I'm the last person that they want as president. All this fear mongering of what's going to happen if somebody runs the country other than them. If somebody else runs the country other than the Democrat and Republican that are in charge, we'll finally get things done. Especially since I would have immunity as president from prosecution as long as I did an official act. I'd get rid of those corrupt judges. Call me what you want. They'd be gone instantly. Not all of them, but just the three. Chief Judge Roberts, Alito, and Thomas. And then Congress could put in 3 more people. Or they could do it like they're supposed to do it, and they could rotate those judges. See, that process is already there, but they don't want that. But with me as president, they're gone. The migrants are getting help, but they're leaving the country. But I got people saying dumb things to me. And some people really just don't know how the system works. It's okay. My signal was being blocked. So I had to turn off my internet. So that's why you see trees in back of me. I had to turn off my internet because it was being blocked. So now I go from place to place and I use the free internet. So catch me if you can before that video gets put out. There's always a way. The other day, all my signatures that I got yesterday were unqualified for me to use to be on the ballot in New Jersey because I forgot to get my paper notarized. Completely on me. And I was disappointed in myself because I'd set all that stuff aside and I said I'm going to do it on the 1st, between the 1st and the 3rd. And so many other things took place. So all my signatures that I got collected were disqualified. So I have to start all over again and get 800 signatures by the 29th, which is Monday. I'm not going to be able to make it. So that means in the state of New Jersey, I won't be on the ballot. But the other 20 states, the ones that I'm going to be going to, they don't have all these rules where you have to do all this other foolishness. They have rules, but it's not the BS that you have to go through. They make us go through it, but the other candidates at the top tier don't have to go through it. But how can our Congress and you guys go out there in the different states? You all keep supporting these people, and they're clapping for a man who's saying that you can't express your First Amendment rights. A butcher, a murderer in our Congress saying what Americans can and cannot do, and you all keep voting these people back in. So yesterday when I was talking and I said this, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it if Americans keep putting these people back in? Is it the people, the other people's fault? No, it's not their fault. It's our fault because we keep putting them back in over and over again. And the reason we keep doing it is because of the fear mongering of the 2 top candidates. If you don't put her in, he's going to win. If you don't put him in, she's going to win. But no, none of them are representing you. All right, I'm going to go. But the gall of Benjamin Netanyahu to come to our country and tell us we should not be protesting in our own country. And you all think I'm crazy for running for president of the United States? That would have never happened without me speaking out against Netanyahu. Because, again, when you are the president of the United States, you have to represent everybody, whether you agree with them or not. And when somebody comes and attacks the rights of people who have a right, a First Amendment right, you don't stand there and clap when they come to our country and say what they're going to say. But anyway, I'm going to go. I just wanted to put that video out there because I couldn't believe that I saw it. That these the people that y'all voted in were clapping for him, and he's standing there. He's standing there telling the Palestinian Americans, "How dare you exercise your First Amendment rights in your own country? How dare you?" He had the audacity to talk about butchering people and murdering people. Hi, Chloe. I'm just realizing that you are gone, but I didn't even realize that you were over there. I mean, that you had tapped in. All right, I gotta go because it's, you know how you people don't like to watch videos and stuff. You know how y'all like to stay for 2 seconds and then pop back out. All right, have a good day. But we got to do better as Americans. Otherwise, don't complain. Don't complain about anything that's happening when you don't vote somebody else in the office.